everyone! Welcome back to another Scrap With Me video. Today I am going to be working on a page using the Animal Cookies paper pack from Close to My Heart, and I've fussy cut all these little guys out of the paper pack, and all I know for my layout today is that I want to do some sort of shadow box type thing on my layout, and other than that I have absolutely no idea how it's going to look. I don't have a sketch or anything, so you're going to truly see my creative process today. So let's get started. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to use this tulip paper. I'm going to cut a 3.5 by 12 inch strip, and then I'm going to mark it, and I've already calculated where I'm going to mark it. I'm going to mark it at 1 3/4 away from the edge, so it's in the center of the strip. And then I'm going to put a little tick mark at 2 3/8 at 6 inches, and again at 2 3/8 from the other end. And you can see I'm using my quilting ruler, which I love. I don't know how anybody scrapbooks without one. Anyways, I'm going to use my Colossal and cut a approximately 2.5 inch circle out of these. So I'm going to line up my circle cutting mat so that my dot that I just marked is right in the middle of my circle, and using my cutting knife going to go around the 1 2 3/4 circle here and cut out the circles. I'm going to cut out 3 of them. Okay, so once you've got your circles cut out with the Colossal, there is this little part that's still attached to the paper, and I'm just going to snip it with my scissors here. I got my new Close to My Heart scissors, which are truly as awesome as they tell you. Okay, so I've got my second one cut, and I have pulled out some White Daisy cardstock that I'm going to use as my base. And seriously, I'm not really sure what I'm doing now. So I'm just going to put these little animals to the side. I like to line up my paper on the mat just so that I can get things measured right. So I think I'm going to do the first page, I'm going to put this shadow boxes on the bottom. And what I'd like to do is raise the boxes using pop dots, and then also raise the little animals on the inside of each box. Try to pick one up. There we go. Raise the animals on the inside of the little box. Okay, so I have cut out my little circles that I'm going to have go between my shadow box areas, and I've cut out a strip that's slightly more than 1/2 inch, and then I also have a strip that I've scalloped that is slightly less than 1/2 inch. Yeah, not really a lot of precision in that. So I'm going to stick this just plain strip just along the bottom, and then I want them to kind of be underneath so that you can't really see the edge. So I'm going to just let them overlap a bit, maybe 1/4 inch. No, yeah, 1/4 inch or so. So then this one has to tuck under a little bit. There. That's why I like having it on my mat, because I can just use these measurements at the side to figure out where I'm going to put things. And then especially when you're using these long strips, it's really easy to go crooked. But if you know that, like, my end here is at 8.5 and my end here is at 8.5, then pretty much everything in between should kind of work itself out. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to put my shadow box on top of those. First of all, I'm going to adhere these little circles in between the dots. Like that. Okay. I feel like I want to add more, but I'm not sure yet what. I do know that I want to use brads at some point, so I think I'm just going to put a brad in the middle of each of these before I make them into shadow boxes. Just like that. So I've got a little brad in the middle, kind of adds a little shine, a little extra texture. Okay, so I have children passing pop dots to each other. All right, okay, no more. Okay, so I am going to, I think I'm just gonna pop them up and see how it's gonna go. All right, so I'll just grab some pop dots and I'll be right back. Now I'm gonna add my little animals that are so cute.
Dad, I accidentally got it in, Mommy.
That's okay. All right, there's one.
I accidentally got it in here.
Okay. Hey, look at this. This is what happens when your son does scrapbooking with you. You get pop dots inside of your scissor holders. That'll be interesting to get out after. All right, anyways, so putting my monkey and giraffe and...
Scissor it down, Mommy.
And then...
Can you please scissor it down?
And then my elephant. I'm gonna have to go right now so I can scissor out the pop dot that was inserted in my scissor protector. So I'll be right back. All right, so the pop dot has safely been extracted, and now I can show you what I'm going to do with my photos. So the theme of this layout, I wanted to use these little animal cutouts, which I'm going to show you right here. Aren't they so cute? Love them. I keep calling this paper animal crackers. It's animal cookies. Anyways, I want to do a layout that's called Welcome to the Zoo, because sometimes it feels like my house is a bit of a zoo. So I've got just a random variety of pictures, and I think I'm going to do 3 of these 4x6s cropped on each page, and then 1 of these 5x7s on each page. And I still don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to mount my 5x7s, and then I think I'm going to crop these down. I don't know how much space I have left on my page. I've got about 8 inches, so maybe 2.5 or so. Crop them down to 2.5 and then mount them. Okay, so I've got my 5x7 mounted, and then I've cut these down. I've cut the matting down to 2.5 inches, and then the photo itself is 2.25 inches square. And the matting for this one is 5.25 by 7.25. So I'm just going to see how these went. I think I might do Welcome to the Zoo here. So just before I glue everything down, I'm going to grab my letter set here. I'm using this alphabet, which I think it's called Friendship. I don't have a sticker on it for some bizarre reason. Anyways, I want to spell zoo, so I'm just going to... Oh yeah, that should totally fit. Alright, so I've adhered down the 5x7 and the 3 2.25 by 2.25 photos mounted on 2.5 by 2.5. And just for your reference, the 5x7 is mounted 1 inch from the top and 1/4 inch from the side, and these photos are all mounted 2.5 inches from the top and then 1/4 inch between them. I'm going to just use my marker because I don't actually have the ink pad, but it actually works pretty well when you just color your letter up with the brush tip like this, and just make sure you get good coverage. I try, actually, the harder you push, the less ink you get on for some reason. So you just kind of push gently. Hi everyone, welcome back, or I should say welcome back to me. It's now probably about 5 hours after the last time you saw this, and the children are now watching Thomas the Tank Engine. And yes, this is a promo for the magic of Thomas. And I'm getting back to my layout. So as you can see, I've got the zoo stamped here. I've got my 3 photos and my 5x7. I'm pretty happy with the way the mirroring worked out. I think I'm going to do some Versamark stamping just to give a little bit more texture to this, but I don't want to add too much. But I am going to add a little space for journaling right here. And this is using the Comments stamp set, which is my new favorite stamp set. I have probably mentioned it a number of times before. And so I just used my marker again to ink up the stamp. Gonna have it a little bit more than usual because I inked it up before I started talking. And I'm just gonna stamp it here. Excuse my head, which I'm sure is in the way. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so I think I'm going to call that done for now until I have the second page. Sometimes when I'm doing 2 pages and doing one at a time, I like to just kind of do one most of the way and then do the other most of the way, and then when I see them together, I kind of come up with ideas of ways to carry an embellishment from one page over to the other, and just so that there's a unified layout and balance.